I don't think so. No, 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 no.
You were running down the hallway while your hands clutching your books to your chest. You were late again. You turned the corner while your eyes fixed on the wristwatch, but suddenly you bumped into someone. Oh, I am sorry, you said, looking up a little to see your hands placed on. There was no response from the man, so you looked up to see the person's face, your breath caught in your throat, as standing in front of you was a man who looked as if he had stepped out of the novel. He had sharp jaw and piercing brown eyes, plump lips, and tailored suit. He looked so cold. By his facial expressions, he was looking at you as if you should mind your action. Then you realized your hands were still on his thigh as you were slowly squeezing it. I am sorry, mister. You started feeling your apple cheeks turning into tomato. He gave you a note, backing off a little, his gaze lingering on you for a brief moment. Wait, why I never saw him before? Maybe he is new in the college? You thought to yourself, looking at him again. You forced a smile when you saw him glaring at you. You mumbled another apology before rushing to your classroom. Your heart was still pounding so hard as you had never seen someone so strikingly handsome in your life. Reaching the classroom, you saw your best friend Chayong waving at you with a wide smile on her face. You walked to her and slipped into a seat next to her. Chayang, you are again late, girl, but no worries, cause that elder professor Lee took a retirement, and do you know there is a new professor coming? And through my resources, I got to know that he is handsome and attractive. She said, giving you a smirk as if this news was exciting to you. Ryan, I don't care if he is handsome. All I care about is his nice behavior towards me. I don't want icy man to teach me anymore. You whine dramatically. Chayang, ah, bestie, don't cry. He must be sweet and calm, just like honey. She said, trying to reassure you. You nodded while opening the notebook. Just as you settled in, you hear the classroom door opened, but you didn't bother to look up as you were trying to focus on your notes. The classroom felt silent, and then suddenly it started to fill with whispers of students. Jayang, Vayani, look up. He is beyond handsome. She mumbled, her eyes glued on the new professor. You shrugged your shoulders without looking up. Jayang groaned as she forcibly held your chin up so you could look at the new professor. Your eyes widened in shock, barely believing what you were seeing. Your heart did a backflip as you realized that man you had bumped into was your new mathematics professor. The students were making noise, especially girls who were literally captivated by his beauty. Everyone urging to sit on the first desk so they could see him more clearly. Too impatient, aren't they? He placed his glasses on the desk in the room. His eyes met yours for a moment and then he broke the contact as he cleared his throat. He was none other than Jeonjungkook, the new professor who will teach your class mathematics from now on. His cold demeanor was enough to declare him as icy cold man, yet his handsome face always made the people doubt about his nature. So students stop making noise, he said and smiled not to sound cold. But the student didn't listen to him and kept on chattering about his looks. The classroom went on a coma zone as everyone looked at him shocked, including you. You swallowed hard. Chayang, he's not a cold professor but XXX a cold professor. I'm feeling pity for poor students, she said, wiping off her unshed tears. You raised your eyebrow looking at her as you knew she was feeling pity on herself as she never been able to score good and commendable marks in any subject. Jungkook, good. I like silence and peace. It will be better for you if you understand it sooner. He said coldly, looking at the dumbfounded students. Ryan, he likes silence, but we are chatterbox. You said in her a low voice. Don't worry, he will get used to our whispers as Mr. Lee. She winked at you, making you chuckle. Jungkook. Okay, class, this is the first college I am teaching as a professor. I'm 25 years old and graduated from Oxford University. Besides this, I'm very strict for the students who had non-serious attitude in the classroom. So abide by my rules, otherwise get ready to face the consequences, little students. He said in a coarse, stern voice, Chayang, isn't he so scary? She whispered near your ear, but you didn't respond as you were lost into his beauty. Chayang, Wayan, she waved hand in front of your face to snap you back into the reality. Wayan, what? Did you call for me? You asked looking at her. Chayang, where are you last, bestie? She asked looking at your face. Ryan, kinda he's handsome. I never felt my heart be racing for someone, but it is some magic on me. You replied, admiring his features. You were staring at him as you had never seen a man so elegant. His eyes were like that of a demon, but still it was comforting you. His lips were plump and soft. It felt like you were really hallucinating. You couldn't help but kept staring at him. You had never experienced anything like this before. Maybe it was because you had not been in Bihar. So, is this what they call? After half an hour, students got up from their seats as they boarded at Professor Jungkook, who was about to leave the classroom. Jungkook, sit down, students. Well, I forgot to tell you that tomorrow I'm going to conduct the small test to check your abilities. I hope each one of you will do their best. And yes, there will be surprise punishment for those cute students who won't perform good in this test. Best of luck. Saying that, he left the classroom, leaving the students bewildered behind. Chayang, Vayan, she started to cry dramatically. Vayan, don't worry, everything will be fine. I trust you, Chayang. You will do well in this test, she said, consoling her. Chayang, you are saying this because you have always been a topper of the class. You always got medals, but you know me. How bad I am in studies. Do you remember when last semester I took the test? I failed in all the subjects miserably. God knows what punishment will he be given to the icy cold man, she said. Ryan, don't cry, bestie. You won't face any punishment. I believe in you, so stop wasting your precious tears. You said, backing her back. You were literally feeling sad. She belonged to a poor family. Her own mother had died a few years ago, and her dad did a second marriage. In this family background, it was really difficult for Chaying to focus on her studies. Professor Lee had known about Chayang's parents, that's why he never scolded her, but Jungkook, being new professor, didn't know that. You decided to meet him in his office as you wanted to tell him about Chayang's family background. Bestie, you feel hungry? Take some money and go to the cafeteria. I will join you after some time. You said, handing her some money, Chayang. But where are you going? She asked, confused. Wayan, I will see you in a cafe. I gotta go now. You said and dashed out to the classroom. Reaching his cabin, you knocked at the door, but no response. You knocked several times, but there was no response from inside. Meanwhile, Miss Yuna came to you. Miss Yuna, Livayan, what are you doing here? She asked, fixing her glasses. Vayan, oh, Miss Yuna, actually, I want to see Mr. Jungkook, but he is not responding. You said, bring down at her with a smile. Miss Yuna, oh, he is not responding because he is not in his cabin. Actually, he had an urgent call from his house, so he had to take a half leave. She said, Vayan, oh, but I want to talk to him. You pouted. Don't worry, you can talk to him tomorrow, dear. She said, patting your shoulder. You nodded and walked to the cafeteria. The next morning, you all were sitting in the classroom where your professor Jungkook was distributing test sheets among the students. You glanced at Jayang, who was looking at papers with a hopeless face. As he was handling your test sheets, your fingers brushed with each other for a moment. Excuse me, sir, Ryan, can you please talk to me for a moment? You asked, getting up from your chair as you wanted to tell him about poor Jayang. Jungkook, right now, he asked while handing a test sheet to Jaehyung, who gulped. Mayan, yes sir, right now, you said, looking at his cold face. Jungkook, sorry Miss Mayan, you will have to do the test first. Then you can talk to me, he said and walked forward. You sat and sat back on your chair. After half an hour, Jungkook collected the test sheets from all the students. Jungkook, okay class, I hope you all would have done good in this test. I will try my best to announce the test results till tomorrow. He said and looked at you. Jungkook, Miss Ryan, if you wanna talk to me, I am free. You can come to my cabin. He said, looking at your pale face. Why was the point to talk to you now? You muttered while looking at him. Jungkook, did you say something? He asked, raising his eyebrows. Ryan, no, no, I forgot what I had to say to you. You replied with a cheeky smile. Jungkook rolled his eyes before dashing out the classroom. Jayank, Vayani, I didn't do well in this test, she said, crying. Vayan, don't worry, bestie. By the way, did you write your name on the test sheet? You asked her, narrowing your eyes. Jayank thought for a while and then spoke out. Jayank, I think I forgot to write it as usual. She started to cry even more louder. Vayan, oh, that's bad. You smirked slightly and got up. Jayank, where are you going now? She asked, frowning. Vayan, I'll come back sooner. You ran out of the classroom. You were running in the corridor and you were getting late for the next class. Thankfully, no one caught me. You said running back to your classroom. But suddenly you bumped into someone. You quickly got up, brushing off your skirt. Oh, sorry, Professor Jungkook. I was in a hurry. You said, bowing down at him. Jungkook, Miss Ryan, you again. Well, you should not run in the corridor. It's dangerous. What if you get hurt? He said, his eyes showing concern for you. Ryan, sorry, next time I will keep it in my mind. You are running back to your classroom as you are not a person who will listen to anyone so easily. Jungkook sighed, walking to his cabin as he knew you had a childish nature. As you reached the classroom, you gulped as you saw new Professor Kim was already lecturing to the classroom. Ryan, Professor Kim, actually I was just, you were cut off by him. Professor Kim, stay out, Miss Ryan. There is no need to come into my class, he said in a loud voice. You were literally tired of his cold behavior towards you. It seemed like he had some kind of rivalry with you. You reached the classroom only 1 minute late, and here he started to give you a lecture. You stayed quiet and looked at him in a disbelief. Professor Kim, what's with your attitude, huh? Are you a magician or what? Cat, got your tongue, or I think I'm speaking to a statue who can't reply to me even. Ryan, I'm sorry, sir, but I didn't glare at you. You said in a low voice, Professor Kim. Don't answer me back again, he said, making you flinch. Everyone in the classroom knew that Professor Kim didn't like you, since the day you got first position and Sarah came in the second position. Some students say that Professor Kim and Sarah were secretly related each other, and some had assumption that Sarah and Professor Kim were married, but they were hiding it from anyone. You bowed at him and entered the classroom, and you took seat beside Chaeyoung, who patted your back. Don't, Ryan, don't be sad. I get used to this, you replied, blinking your eyes. Time skipped. The next day. All the students had their eyes on the test results sheet which Jungkook was holding in his hand as he cleared his throat. Jungkook, so here I have the test result, and I must say that I am fairly happy except for some, he said in his cold, stern voice. Jaehyung gulped. Jungkook hands out the test sheet. Jungkook, good job, Diana. Well written, Jingjung, Zack, not bad, Camellia, bravo. Jungkook, so finally we have two papers left and I'm tremendously proud for one and extremely dissatisfied with the other. Stand up, Chaeyoung, and leave Ayan, he said loudly. Chaeyoung got up with trembling legs while you held her hand to make her calm. Professor Jungkook, Chaeyoung, I'm proud of you as you got the highest scores in this test and you will be rewarded for your hard work. Congratulations. He gave her a smile to Chaeyoung, who looked at him shocked. Even the whole classroom had went into a coma as everyone knew Chaeyoung never able to get average marks. Then how she could score highest marks. Jungkook glared at you, making you gulp down. Jungkook, and finally we have Miss Lee Ryan. He said coldly as you didn't respond. Jungkook, stand up, Miss Ryan. How you couldn't answer the one question right, he said. You stood up with trembling legs. You were looking down at your shoes the while whole class flinched. Everyone knew you were topper of the class and always got good marks. Then how you failed this test. Jungkook, you are not a kid anymore. As a tiny amount of maturity and pay attention to your studies. I'm feeling sorry for your parents. They must be sad. He said, making your eyes fill with tears. Giant. Sir, you must be mistaken. Mayan always scored highest marks in all the tests. She is topper of our class. She said, getting up from the chair. You held her hand, making her sit back. Mayan, actually, sir, I was sick. That's why I didn't perform well in this test. You can give me. I won't have any problem. You said, pushing the rising tears back. Jungkook, okay, fine. Meet me in my cabin after the class is over. He glared at you. You sat back in your chair, wiping off the tears. Giant, you did something with that sheets. You deliberately didn't write your name because you knew I always forget to write down my name. You swept the names, Ryan, right? She said, but you remained silent and kept looking at the whiteboard. The class got over a chunk who called you in his cabin. He wanted to kill me who could never forget. You sighed and left the classroom. You were walking by the hallway, but suddenly you felt to use the washroom, so you went to the bathroom. Few minutes later, you were standing in front of his cabin and you knocked at the door and he let you come inside. You bowed as you saw him checking the papers. Jungkook, so Miss Ryan, are you ready? He asked, making you gulp down. I guess so, you replied in a sad voice. Why you swipe the papers? He said, looking into your eyes. How do you know? You asked in a stuttering. Jungkook, that's not the point, Miss Ryan. The point is you lied and insulted you, but you remained quiet in front of the whole classroom. You are not a kid anymore, but that doesn't mean you lied to your professor and you will have to face. He got up from his chair and walked to you. With a sweaty body, you walked back as you didn't want him to hear your heartbeat. It is said that it takes you 20 to 4 minutes to find that you are in love or not. When you were quite a little girl, you dreamed of a that could make the time stand still. You dreamed of a man when you dance when there is music playing beneath the falling rain. You always imagine strong arms, a man who tells you that you are his everything. Right now, while he was talking to you, you were feeling that you found him, the man you always dreamed of. Jungkook, trust me, if Chang had not come to my cabin and tell me, I would have give you punishment which you could never forget. But as I know everything, I apologize to you. Your friend is lucky having you, he said. So does it mean you won't punish me? You showed him puppy eyes, which made him chuckle. Of course I will, but it won't be unbearable, so let me tell you what actually a punishment is. You will have to help me in checking these papers. Is it okay? He said, pointing at the stack of papers which were placed on his table. You checked, sighing in a relief. Don't worry, Professor Jungkook, I will help you, she said excitedly. He smiled, looking at your innocent face. You stepped forward, but suddenly you slipped. But luckily, he held you. You both looked into each other's eyes. I couldn't realize. As soon as reality hit you, you dashed out the door, leaving him smirking behind. You were head over your heels. 1 month later, it's been 1 month since you both are secretly each other, but since last night, Jungkook was not responding to your calls. You knew he was checking the papers, but still you were urging to tease him. You knocked at his cabin door while shivering with the cold. He gave you permission to enter in. You stepped in with a smirk. A sigh left your mouth when you saw him checking the papers. An idea came into your mind and you decided to him. He looked up at you, frowning as if your presence didn't make him sad. Then you dropped your pen on the floor, so you bent down to fetch it. Jungkook gulped. Your plan was working well. Jungkook, that's enough. I am feeling party on you, he said with a smirk. Why, Jungkook, you said. Jungkook, little girl, it's you who made me crazy.